Alright, this is HuskeHardcore Bacora here, ready to talk about the past week's game against the Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. Didn't do a video last week for the Detroit game. Sure, like a lot of Broncos fans, I just needed a break from football for a little while, and didn't really have much I wanted to talk about in that game anyway. So I didn't make a video. Um, all right, we beat the Raiders. It was a pretty good win, a complete whole team win. Is what it sounded like as the consensus of everybody on the Denver radio. I still have a little bit of wouldn't really say our special teams won it. We did have the big punt return by Eddie Royal, but we also dropped a snap on a punt. Gave him good field position, and then we also gave 3 points off of the board after we took points off the board with the penalty, which I thought was a good call, but Prater missed the field goal to end the half there. So special teams had its problems still. Prater hasn't been looking like the Prater of old. A little concerning there. Get on to the game. Don't got a whole lot of notes here. Just a couple things I wanted to go over. Kind of get a couple days after the game. It's not quite fresh in your mind, but Willis McGahee, big day. Would have been really nice. Sat him on my bench for fantasy football because I wasn't for sure how that hand was going to show up, but looked really good. Had the big couple big runs, 2 scoring plays, 160 some yards, I believe is what it ended up being. Real good game, Willis McGahee. The way our offensive line played in that second half had some big holes. It was really good to see against a decent front seven that Oakland has. So that was a pretty good spot to see. Play calling still is a little thing that I'm concerned about. People on the Denver radio stations, and I've heard on the news that the play calling was different and catered to Tebow a little bit more. Play calling was a little bit different, but still there was still some pretty bad play calling throughout that first half, and even a bit in the second half. Just happened to be that we were able to run the ball, had busted some big runs, so we didn't really need great play calling in the second half. But giving McCoy a lot of credit for the option, which is the only rule play. Well, there was a couple of different plays that they did, but they ran that one a couple times and had big success. I said in past weeks' videos that there were times where Tebow could have kept the ball and ran in other games, and I just don't think that they were allowing him to do that because he was handing it off every time. This time they let him allowed to pull back and had 2 big runs off of it and a couple good gains. So that was a good part of the play calling. Still don't like how many times they direct run Tebow. Did it twice in a row. One time when it was a second and short and a third and short, and we didn't get it and had to punt. Also did it on a 3rd and 20. I know a lot of teams in the NFL likes to run that draw or a screen, try to make up some yards and punt. But and Tebow's capable of making 20 yards. This stuff happens, but teams are looking for it, and you're going to get him hurt on a 3rd down play, 3rd and 20. I didn't like that kind of play calling either. But I did see a couple things that I have been asking for. They did move the pocket on Eddie Royal's touchdown pass. The only play that they really moved the pocket, but that's something I've been saying: get him out of the pocket, move the pocket around, and they finally did it, and it went for a touchdown. They also ran a bootleg, which I've been begging for. Only one real legitimate bootleg that I remember of seeing. So finally, they put that in the arsenal. I still would like I said before, I would mind if we ran 10 bootlegs a game. Get him into a groove, nice easy pass. He also has option to run. So they did a couple things different that I've been waiting to see, and finally they did. But still, I do not give McCoy a pass on the play calling for this last week's game. Eddie Royal had the special teams, the punt return, also that touchdown pass to Tebow. It was nice to see him back going at it. Defensively, I didn't talked about defense yet early. Defensively, had a pretty decent game. Um, Bailey with the 2 interceptions. Harris, who I'm starting to like, undrafted free agent. He's led the team in tackles, I believe, is what I heard, and he's done a good job coverage wise for somebody, the third, fourth cornerback. So kind of like the play that I've seen of him. He did get picked on a couple times, but for the most part, thought he had a pretty decent game. Um, Defensively, it just felt I had a feeling we were going to win this game in the first half because I mean how the game started. It sucked that Raheem Moore got hurt, but that should have been. It looked like it was going to be an interception, and it was could have very easily been a 6, 7 interception game for Carson Palmer. Every time he threw the ball up there, I felt like we were going to have a chance to intercept it. So um, that was pretty good to see with Denver. Also, as part of Carson Palmer throwing the ball, even his really good touchdown passes and stuff were plays where we had decent defense and one the Jacoby Ford one. It was just outstretched Goodman's hands, and uh, DJ Williams had decent coverage on Reese, but it was a great catch, good throw. It was in the spot where it needed to be, but DJ Williams was right there. Not too many fullbacks were going to make that catch, so it was good defense all around. I thought for the Broncos. So didn't really do a whole lot of preparation in this video. So there's one more thing I want to talk about. Um, LA, it's pretty nice to hear. I mean, I turn on my internet here and I'll listen to all the Elway interviews and stuff. He does an interview though with both radio stations. He has the Monday morning show on 102.3. Has a John Elway TV show, and I think that you're not going to find a GM or a director of operations that has shows like that anywhere in the NFL. I'm willing to bet. And while it's nice to hear as a fan, I would kind of like if you didn't do that. Um, there's too much being seen. You got to me, no other team does it, and it's for a reason. I understand that no other team has the legend Elway working for him. So um, that was something I want to bring up. He just talks on the first take about his comments about Tebow and other shows, and I just think it would be a lot better if that wasn't out there at all. Um, to me, don't do it. Just don't do it. Nobody else does it. Why should we? And that's about all that I got. I also had, I guess, my game prediction last week. I told my buddy, who's an Raiders fan, that just got back from Saudi Arabia. He was kind of making fun of me. I was like, well, Denver wins the next 2 games. They can win the AFC West. And actually, I was predicting that they will. Now, I really predicted that they're going to win the AFC West? No, but there's no reason why we can't. I don't see. I think we can win the games as long as our offensive play callings gets better and our defense plays how they have been playing. I think that we can win quite a few of these games coming up. And with how everybody else in the AFC West is playing, there's I don't predict it. I don't think that we can, but I don't see why we couldn't. So that was part of my prediction that I didn't do since I didn't do my Detroit show. Um, just real quick, give my final couple thoughts because I didn't do a video last week. This one wasn't a very good video, but I'm done. Later.